Hey guys, what's up? It's Paul. Today, on this episode of Toys in Motion, I want to share with you a brand new action figure that I just picked up. This is from the video game Golden Axe, and it's from Storm Collectibles, and this figure is Tyris Flare. So here's a look at this amazing figure, and this is a set. This is Tyris Flare, and it's her blue dragon. Check out the box, man. This thing, look at the thickness of that box. It is a nice box, and then the back, kind of shows the switchable heads and some poses and the dragon's supposed to be articulated too. But, I don't know how articulated. I'm dying to find out. It's the first time I ever got one of these guys. There's the bottom of the box. It's obviously a lot of Chinese writing and stuff, but very nicely done. I also scored a pre-order on one of the dragon figures that's coming out like in a few months. I guess it's the same dragon. Every now and then they put them out in like different color variations and stuff. So I grabbed one of those as well. Just because they sell out so fast, I just grabbed one. So seeing this guy will let me know how I did, if I made the right decision or not, pulling the trigger on that. But this blue dragon comes with a saddle that she can ride this thing. It's removable. This thing has fire. It has all kinds of really cool effects. And the figure looks to be quite badass. Now, this thing is a Storm Collectibles, and I've only ever done one review on Storm Collectibles, and it was on the skeletons. And that skeleton, that's a 2-pack. You could find it in the playlists. That is an awesome figure set. Those skeletons are so cool. The only thing is they're a little bit bigger than the Mythic Legion scale. So they're kind of big skeletons. But other than that, I suspect the same thing with her. She's probably going to be big. She's probably going to be taller than a lot of the Mythic Legions, the standard figures. But nevertheless, it's a super cool figure, and it comes with a super cool dragon. The dragon is why I picked this figure up 100%. From the first time I saw Mythic Legions, in my mind, I wanted to do a custom figure from a cartoon that I used to watch when I was really little. It's called Mighty Mightor. Now, Mightor was a prehistoric superhero with a dinosaur that became a dragon when he activated his Mightor power. This is going to be the dragon that goes to my custom Mightor that I'm doing. So I'm pretty stoked. I'll throw a picture at the end. Most people probably don't know what I'm talking about. Here's a look from the show Mightor. Just a quick screen grab. So that's Mightor. So when you look at the pictures at the end, keep an eye open for them. But this figure is going to be fun. And the girl, the Tyris figure here, I am going to do something, I think, with her in the realm of a custom figure. I just don't know what yet. I'm dying to see her. I'm dying to compare her to Mythic Legions and some of the other figures to get an idea of scale and everything, see how she poses. But from what I've seen, highly articulated, really cool figure. She has switchable heads. She has switchable hands. So that means I can do a custom head on her. So my mind is like running with different possibilities of what I could do. No idea. I'm not even going to think about it because I don't know until I see her. But I'm not going to see her till you see her. So why don't we take her over to the table? Let's open this box up. Let's pull this out and have a look at it. So here she is, Tyris Flare. Woo! And her amazing blue dragon. I'll tell you, these guys at first glance are even better than I expected. The only other figures I have are the skeletons, so these are actually my very first Storm collectible figures. she's really a unique, cool figure. She has some crazy long legs, and I can tell that the way that they put her elbows and knees, and her legs are really made so she can ride that dragon. Her legs kick way the hell back, and she has quite the flexible hips. So this way, her legs can accommodate the girth of the dragon saddle. She's got great elbows, great arms, a lot of motion in there. Her shoulders even pivot up and down. Man, she has a ton of articulation. Oops, she's a nice figure. I noticed right away her ankles don't really have any pivot. They have a little back and forth, but no real big pivot. So she can have a little trouble sometimes. But she balances nice, and she looks good. Yep, I think this is a pretty outstanding looking figure altogether. There's always the trade-off. The more articulation, the more it looks like it's got a lot of articulation. But it's beautiful. Her face sculpt is absolutely beautiful. If you pop the hairpiece off the front, that's kind of scary looking. The way they did her head with this, they have the two hair pieces, and then it's keyed into the back. This way you get a little more flexibility with the hair. And just pops right back on. But her face is a great sculpt, and she also has the alternate, more angry face, which I think is just adorbs. You can see the hair flares out. She's like a really cool looking figure when it comes to the face. Because, man, she's got it. And then she comes with a ton of different hands. All kinds of reaching, and a fist that, holds the sword. And she's got, like, a death grip hand going on there. And, there's a left and a right one for all that. And she comes with a neat sword. The sword reminds me of Clash of the Titans, probably because of the way the guard is. But I like the sword. I think it's a pretty cool looking sword. So let's take a look at how Tyris Flare sizes up. Here she is with a Mythic Legions figure. And in fact, let's add a second one. This is a orc with a custom head that I made and sell on my website, and painted this one. So here she is with some Mythic Legions figures. You can see how big she actually is. This is the silicone body Red Sonja figure, which is tiny. It's supposed to be a 1/12 scale figure, but you can see how that sizes up in comparison. She almost looks like a female giant, which is nice. It's kind of cool, but if that's what you want. And here she is with a combatants figure. I can't remember if this is Bernice or not, but I think it might be. So here she is standing next to the female combatants figure. And again, she is even taller than that. So she is definitely a tall figure for 1/12 scale. So let's talk about the dragon for a minute, because I am blown away by the dragon. I am so happy. The dragon is awesome. He is nicer than I expected him to be. The colors on him, the paint job, you can kind of see it fades into a nice lighter blue. The head on him, the colors they used, the spines and everything, the detail on the sculpt. And he's more posable than I expected. He's got, some head turning ability up and down, and his mouth opens to some extent, not super wide, but not bad. His neck turns in this area and goes a little bit of up and down, not much. If you pull him too far forward, it just pops right out of the little socket, just enough. His shoulders, though, They swing out wide. You can pull them in close. His hands, he's got good elbow, has some movement in it. So his legs, the hips kick out to the sides. You can kind of push him back in. He's got some of that going on. He's got some knee bend, not a lot, but enough. His ankles are great. His ankles have a lot of movement. His toes. Love this dragon. I was surprised just how soft the rubber actually is. I expected it to be stiffer, but it's soft. It's nice. I'm sure that I'm going to take the harness and the saddle off because I want to use this guy for my custom that I'm working on, and I'm going to probably be able to use this saddle on something else. So I'm definitely going to hold on to it. Blown away by the dragon. So I am so happy that I indeed pulled the trigger on the other dragon and ordered him as well before they sold out, because he's definitely the star of this. And then, if that's not enough, the dragon comes with this accessory. As far as I recall, he's the only... It only comes in the set with this figure. So, with the Tyris Flare figure, you get this dragon breath. And it's pretty darn nice. I think if you stuck a light in it, oh my gosh, it would light up. And the way, it doesn't go in his mouth other than just in his mouth, and then it gives the illusion that, look at that, how cool is that? Love it. Love it. It's just a really neat little addition to this that just makes it so cool. And again, in the custom figure I'm doing with the dragon's name was Tog, he was a fire breather. So again, that's when I saw this. I was like, yeah, there's just no way around it. I need this dragon. I love the dragon. So amazing. So I'm excited to pose these guys up because they're very cool, very nice figures. And I think they'll pose well. So let's take some pictures of them and then we'll wrap this up. Man, those figures are awesome. I mean, they are really, really cool. Both of them were a lot more fun than I expected. I did not know when I bought these what I was really getting into with the golden axe. I love the video game and everything, and the figures are cool, but man, I'm very impressed. Really cool figures, a lot of fun. You know, she's a big, like, warrior woman, and the dragon was just exactly what I hoped it would be, and then some. I mean, the articulation on that dragon is really cool, and like the hips and everything are all ball sockets. So if you bend them too far, they just pop open and you just stick them back on. The more you mess with it, the nicer it gets. So what a cool figure. She's awesome, a lot of fun. I have no idea what I'm going to do in the way of customizing or what, but she's just a really cool woman. And I really like the fact that she's kind of a really big Amazon type action figure. So my mind's sort of going like maybe doing something along that kind of a thing with maybe a paint job, just to give her just a little bit more of a personalization as far as what I like. So anyway, it was a really fun video to shoot. Hey, you might notice some things are a little different around me. Well, that's because from the time I shot the beginning of the video till now, I actually was on an episode of the Legion Slayer. So I reconfigured my setup a little bit to show off my cemetery 3D printed cemetery gates that I made, along with my little custom head I did for a vampire, and then some of my Mythic Legions customs that I've made out of parts I've 3D printed and put together. And I had this all set up because, again, I was on one of the most fun podcasts ever, Legion Slayer. It was episode 13, season 2. Season 2, episode 13, if you're looking for it. And it was so much fun. I had such a good time. We talked about the Forged in Fire episode, and the swords, and the toys, and the 3D printing, and everything. It was just the greatest time. 3-hour show, and I swear it went by in like 5 minutes. The hosts, Michael and Brad, were just awesome. So much fun. My kind of people, straight from the heart. And a huge shout out to Lauren as well. You guys were all the best, and I cannot ever thank you enough for having me on the show, because that was a lot of fun. So, and that's what this is all about. Trying to have as much enjoyment in your life as possible. So, I thank you all for making my life happier by watching my videos, subscribing to my channel, liking, commenting. Man, I love to hear from you guys. We got some neat stuff, man. I'm going to do a whole video just on the Bigfoot Yeti 3D pieces that I'm running and selling right now, because I love Bigfoot. You don't have to watch it if you don't like Bigfoot, but I like Bigfoot. If you like Bigfoot like I like Bigfoot, you're definitely gonna want to see this. So we will see you next time. With that, we got a ton more Mythic Legions figures coming. We got Cosmic Legions. We got a lot of good things about to happen. Plus, we're going to be talking about this stuff behind me. So, thank you. We'll see you next time on Toys in Motion.